This is the Sterling series, Flourishing Families, and today I'm Tony Carls, and today I'm here with Montanna Morris and Jay Johnson. Thank you both for being here. Montanna, you're the community program manager here at Victory Garden, and Jay, you're the youth programs coordinator. So what does that mean? What do you both do here with Victory Gardens?
So one of the biggest things that takes about half of my year is organizing our Victory Garden Blitz. It's an annual event, a 15-day event where we install 500 raised garden beds all over the city of Milwaukee with the help of around 300 volunteers. We raise money to put 50% of those gardens into the lowest income neighborhoods of Milwaukee at a drastically reduced price. We also provide, with the purchase of a garden or soil, the opportunity to work with a free volunteer garden mentor to help you learn how to grow food if you want a garden and don't know how to grow food, to ensure that you have a successful growing season.
And Jay, you're the youth programs coordinator here. What does that mean? What's your impact here?
Different schools can come here and do a field trip on the farm, so they get to try and taste different things that we grow here. They learn about biodiversity and different insects. Also, I'm into after-school programs into neighboring elementary schools, and I just go in and I teach kids about gardening, because at each of the schools they have their own raised beds, and also we get to cook with them, and we try to use as much produce from their own gardens as possible.
Oh, awesome.
And during the summer we have summer programs where youth come to the farm and they help us out with the farm during the summer.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. How'd you get to Victory Garden? How'd that occur?
So my mom actually started Victory Garden Initiative in 2009, and it started from my mom wanting to have a raised garden bed to grow food in her front yard, and she was living in Shorewood at the time, and because of neighbors complaining about her garden lowering their property value, the village board actually took her to court, saying a lot of suburbs have bylaws saying that a suburb is supposed to hide all signs of industry and agriculture, and so they were categorizing these vegetables as agriculture. But she went to court and actually won, proving that being able to grow food is a basic human right. And then they started the very first Victory Garden Blitz 12 years ago with a group of like 40 people, just friends and neighbors, helping to install raised garden beds in each other's yards. And then it just grew from there. So I've been lucky enough to be a part of it through her impact and her movement that she helped build in Milwaukee.
That's pretty inspirational. Your mom's an inspirational woman.
Yeah, she's cool.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about, like, what's the mission here at Victory Garden? Like, if you guys accomplish the mission that you really set out to accomplish, what does that mean? What does that look like?
So our mission is to build communities that grow their own food in a culturally led, socially just, and environmentally sustainable way to create that kind of food system for everyone. And we do focus that on Milwaukee.
Okay.
We don't have, all of our programs are pretty much Milwaukee based. We do have one program where we're willing to train other nonprofits in other areas to host their own blitz, because we have the nation's largest garden building event, and it is a really well planned event, so it's a good system to be able to replicate all around the country through teaching other organizations that are there to do that. So we've done that in Green Bay, Kentucky, California, and now I'm also working with an organization in Canada that reached out to us about that.
Nice.
So.
On your website, you mentioned something called food insecurity. Could one or both of you talk a little bit about what that means and why that's something that should be addressed or supported?
So food insecurity is like a lack of access to regular nutritious food. That's like the amount that you are required to have to be healthy, and to have an assurance that you're going to have that food. So there's a lot of food insecurity in the low-income neighborhoods of Milwaukee and the world, and a lot of those are connected to not having enough money and also not having any of that food available anywhere near them. A lot of poor neighborhoods are also considered food deserts, which means there's not any fresh produce anywhere within walking distance. So that's a lot of why we focus on installing 50% of our gardens into low-income neighborhoods and places where there are food deserts. As well as our farm here being in a lower income neighborhood. There is some initial money to put up to get a garden and to get the soil, but we can make that part really affordable and really easy. And then from there, the costs are really low in terms of maintaining gardens, and it's drastically cheaper than buying produce at a store or other food.
Why is gardening a good thing, and why should a family consider that? Why would that help build a stronger family and a stronger community?
I think it's something, because there's few things that you could all do together as a family, and gardening is one thing you can do together, like especially like kids can get in there, adults, like it doesn't matter as long as it like brings you together and connects you back to the earth and the food that you're growing, so you have like a greater appreciation for your food sources. And
it develops like a really healthy sense of responsibility of like taking care of life. Like it's obviously not the same as having a kid or a pet or something like that, but like if you don't take care of it, it will die. But when you do take care of it, and it doesn't actually take that much effort to take care of it, that you feel super proud about being able to like bring life into the world and make things grow. And we've done follow-up surveys through our Blitz that have also shown that 80% of people who've gotten the Blitz garden met more of their neighbors, talked to their neighbors more, gave them some food, became friends. And so building healthy communities is a big important aspect of building strong and healthy families.
I would agree. Just a personal story for me. So my wife loves raspberries, and from one of our neighbors, we got a bunch of raspberry starters from their garden. We planted them in ours, and the first summer we basically didn't get anything. We got a couple sprouts that came up, and they didn't produce fruit. But the next year, it like started ravaging my yard because raspberries just spread like wildfire. It was really cool to see and watch that process. And now my little girls, they love to go pick the raspberries with mom. Go down there and play, and it's a really cool experience. Really thank you for joining us here today. Applaud you for kind of the work that you're doing, and for anybody that's interested in learning more about Victory Garden, the website is victorygardeninitiative.org. You can find them on Twitter or Instagram, Victory Garden I. Thank you so much again. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
for being here.
Tony.
Flourishing Families is a sterling series where we will explore concepts related to healthy communication, family time, fiscal responsibility, emotional support, health and wellness, personal responsibility, and living a purpose-driven life. Please like and subscribe. We hope these stories are enriching and provoke ideas as you strive to build a strong family.